Hello and welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. This is Eric. My co-host Mr. Brody's here. Going to play another game from the 2001 rookie season of Ichiro Suzuki Career Replay using Action PC Baseball. This is game number 7 of the season. Starting another series with the Oakland Athletics. When they started the season off with, and they were swept by the Oakland Athletics in Seattle. Today we're going to be starting the series in Oakland, and hopefully the series will go better for the Mariners. So without further ado, let's get this game underway.
Pitching for Oakland, Gil Heredia. Leading off for Seattle, right fielder, Ichiro Suzuki.
So alright, so welcome to Network Associates Coliseum for tonight's game between Seattle and Oakland. Oakland has won 6 straight. They're 6-0 in the season. 6 of their last 6. John Halama will start for Seattle. He's made 1 start in the year and is 0-1 with an ERA of 23.63. His second start against Oakland, he's 0-1 with a 20. So he didn't make that 1 start against Oakland and was roughed up pretty badly. He'll be opposed by Gil Heredia for Oakland. He's made 1 start in the year with no decisions and an ERA of 7.20. His second start against Seattle. It's 60 degrees, wind speed 1 mile per hour, right to left. So very slight wind. So let's look at the lineup for the visiting Seattle Mariners. So leading off will be the man we're doing the replay on, Ichiro Suzuki, the right fielder. He'll be followed by Mark McLemore, the third baseman. Batting third is Bret Boone, the second baseman. Edgar Martinez, the DH, is batting cleanup. John Olerud, the first baseman, will hit 5th. Mike Cameron, the center fielder, hits 6th. Batting 7th is Stan Javier, the left fielder. And Miss Maggs has joined us in the room. She wants to get into the host seat as usual. Jose Guillen, the shortstop, will hit 8th, and Dan Wilson is behind the plate batting 9th. So on the mound, Gil Heredia, like the computer said. He's got no decisions with a 7.20 earned run average. 5 innings pitched, 11 hits allowed, 2 home runs allowed, 1 walk and 5 strikeouts. A whip of 2.4, and opponents are hitting a whopping .458 against them. So if we can get off to a good start here. So Suzuki steps into the box. He's hitting .440 on the season, off to a great start. 11 hits and 25 at-bats. 1 double, 1 triple, 2 runs batted in, 4 runs scored, 5 stolen bases, on-base percentage of .481 and a slugging percentage of .560. So the defense behind Heredia is Mr. Johnny Damon in left, Terrence Long in center, and Adam Pyatt in right. Not a very good defensive outfield, with Damon being the best. Defensive-wise, and Pyatt in right with the best arm, with a 9 rating. Chavez, Tejada, Ortiz, and Giambi in the infield. Chavez, Gold Glover at third. Tejada slightly above average at shortstop. Giambi average, and Ortiz below average at second. Behind the plate is Ramon Hernandez, the catcher. Slightly above average with a below average arm. So Suzuki steps into the box. Heredia looks into the sign for Hernandez. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that's a slow roll at the third. And Chavez, a very short-handed third baseman, is unable to handle it. And they're going to credit Suzuki with a base hit on that. So very generous scoring on that. Suzuki gets on. So that'll bring up Mark McLemore. McLemore comes in hitting .286 with a triple, 3 runs batted in, and 2 runs scored. Alright, so I think we're going to have Suzuki try to steal here. He's off with the pitch, and he's in there. So Ichiro gets his sixth stolen base of the season, and is in scoring position with nobody out. Count 1-0 on Macklemore. We have a National League score to report. The Cubs and the Expos are tied at 1 in the 11th, so they've gone into extra innings. Alrighty, here's the windup and the pitch to Macklemore. And it's going to be a ball, high and away, 2-0. Milwaukee shutting out Houston 5-0 in the 6th. And middle of the plate for strike 1, so 2-1 the count. Swing and a miss, so the count evens at 2 to Macklemore. And it's a drill by bat to Heredia. Ichiro holds as Heredia actually he doesn't hold. He waits for Heredia to throw it to first and sprints over to third. Detroit leads Minnesota 5-1 in the 5th. So 1 down now with Suzuki at third for Bret Boone. Bret Boone comes in hitting .286 with a homer and 4 runs batted in. He scored 6 runs. And in tight for ball 1. 2 high and outside, 2-0 the count. So good hitters count for Boone. 3-0 the count. And then Boone is riding a 6-game hitting streak, so he's looking to extend that here and put the Mariners on top. And he'll walk on 4 pitches.
Designated hitter, Edgar Martinez.
So they'll put runners at the corners with 1 down for Edgar Martinez. Comes in hitting .208. Struggling on the season so far with just 5 hits and 24 at-bats. Does have 3 doubles though, 4 runs batted in and 2 runs scored. And that's going to be missed high for ball 1. 2-0 the count. Count goes to 3-0, so already has thrown 7 straight balls. And generous strike. He swung at a strike there, actually. So 3-1 the count. And that'll be a ball.
First
So
baseman, John Olerud.
So that'll load the bases for John Olerud. Comes in hitting just .190, 4 hits and 21 at-bats with 2 runs batted in. 4 runs scored. Bases loaded now. Heredia looks in for the sign. Looks at the runners. Kicks and delivers. And outside corner for strike 1. Count evens at 1. And late called strike for strike 2. So 1-2 the count on Olerud. And that's hit to right. Hit pretty well. And we're going to have Suzuki's going to tag up and score as the throw comes into second. So Pyatt makes the catch for out number 2. And Ichiro scores run number 1 as the Mariners take an early lead, 1-0. So Detroit leads Minnesota in the 5th, 5-2. So Mike Cameron up now. Comes in hitting .360 on the season. 9 for 25 with a double, a homer, and 5 runs batted in. Runners on first and second now. Ball 1. 1-1 the count. 2-1 goes the count on Cameron. And that's a liner to right. But that'll go out of play foul. So the count even at 2 now. Full count now, so the runners will be off with the pitch with 2 down. And that's hit down the left field line foul. So the count remains full. Another one down the left field line. Kansas City leads New York 5-2 in the 6th. And that's hit pretty well to center, but Cameron,
leading off for Oakland, left fielder, Johnny David.
So Long barely has to move for that one to make the catch for out number 3, but Seattle does get on top, 1-0. So John Halama with an early lead here. Had a rough start in his first outing, 0-1 in the season with 23.63 earned run average against these Oakland Athletics. So Johnny Damon will lead it off the left fielder. He'll be followed by Jose Ortiz, second baseman. Second baseman. Batting third is Jason Giambi, the first baseman. Batting cleanup is Rudy Cianez, the DH. Sorry, Olmedo Signs. Miguel Tejada, the shortstop, will hit fifth. Adam Pyatt is the right fielder, hitting sixth. Terrence Long, the center fielder, hits seventh. Eric Chavez, third baseman, will hit eighth. And Ramon Hernandez is behind the plate, batting ninth. So Johnny Damon hitting just 115 on the season, 3 for 26 with an RBI. Struggling mightily so far. So the defense behind Halama is Javier in left, Cameron in center, Suzuki in right. Cameron and Suzuki, excellent defensive outfielders, with Ichiro having the better arm in right. McLemore, Gian, Boone, and Olerud are pretty much about average. Boone and Olerud slightly above average, and Gian below average at shortstop. Halama above average on the mound, and Dan Wilson above average behind the plate with a weak arm. So here's the pitch. Hit right back to Halama. He'll toss over to first, and Damon is retired. Jose Ortiz up now, hitting .227 on the season, 5 for 22 with 2 runs batted in. Has scored 5 runs. And that's hit to McLemore. Catches it on the fly for out number 2. So in a slugfest in Toronto, the Blue Jays lead the Rays 10-8 in the 7th. So Jason Giambi comes to the plate now, hitting .286 on the season with 3 homers and 9 runs batted in. And make that 4 homers now, as he's, I believe, hit at least his 3rd home run against the Oakland Athletics. Against the Seattle Mariners. So he ties the game at 1 with 1 swing of the bat. So that'll bring up Olmedo Signs. Comes in hitting an even 200, 4 for 20 with 4 runs batted, 4 runs scored. And that one's hit to left. That one's hit a good ways. But Javier stays in the ballpark, and Javier makes the catch for out number 3. But Jason Giambi ties the game with his 4th home run of the year, a solo homer. And it's 1-1 after 1. So Stan Javier, we still have not changed his picture yet. Hitting .429 in 14 at-bats. 6 for 14 with a run batted in. Leads it off for the Mariners in the 2nd. So that's fouled on the first base line. Dribbler back to the mound. Heredia is up with it over to Giambi for out number 1. So to bring up Carlos Guillen, hitting .250 on the season, 5 for 20. Hit to left. Damon comes in and makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down for Seattle in the 2nd. Brings up Dan Wilson, 4 for 24 in the season, 167 with 6 runs batted in though. And he'll hit this one to Ortiz over to first, and that'll do it. So the Mariners go 1-2-3 in the 2nd. And we'll head to the bottom. The 2nd tied at 1. So Miguel Tejada will lead it off for Oakland here in the bottom of the 2nd. He's hitting .240, 6 for 25 with 3 homers and 4 runs batted in. And that'll be a base hit to right. Suzuki throws it back into Boone. So Olerud will hold on. Tejada. Let's throw it to first. And he's back safely. So to bring up Adam Pyatt. Pyatt looking for his first hit of the season, 0 for 3 so far. And that's outside for ball 1. 2-0 the count. Another quick throw to first. And he's back safely. And that's going to be a swing and a miss for strike 1. 2-1 the count. Milwaukee leads Houston now 7-0 in the 8th. He's off for the pitch. And he's in there. So Tejada swipes his 2nd for his first steal of the season. So it'll be a runner, so the go-ahead run in scoring position with nobody out. 2-2 the count on Pyatt. 3-2 now. And he strikes him out. So Halama gets his first K of the day. So 1 down now for Terrence Long. 3 for 19 on the season, 158. With a triple and 3 runs scored. And that'll be a base hit. That'll get the run home, most likely. Nope. Actually, they're going to hold Tejada at third as they get it in quickly. So it'll put runners at the corners with 1 down. Texas and Anaheim are tied at 1 in the second. So it brings up Eric Chavez off to a good start. 429 with 2 homers and 8 runs batted in. And has scored 6 runs. Mariners playing back, hoping to turn 2. Ball 1. And that's going to be popped to center. Cameron races for it, makes the catch, and Tejada's going to tag. And he will not throw home. There's a run. For some reason, the throw comes into third. Don't know why. Don't know why they didn't throw it into second. But the go-ahead run scores, and it's Oakland leads 2-1 now. Let's throw it to first. And he's back safely. So that brings up the catcher, Ramon Hernandez. 143 on the season, 3 for 21 with an RBI. And strike 1. And dribble it a short. Guillen goes the short way to second. And that'll do it for Oakland in the second. But they do pick up a run, and after 2, it's 2-1 Oakland. Detroit leads Minnesota 10-2 in the 7th. So to bring up the top of the order, Suzuki will lead it off for the Mariners here in the 3rd. Suzuki singled his first time up. Stole a second. He came around the score. So Suzuki's average up to 462 now. And he's got himself another base hit. He's going to try to stretch in the 2, and he'll get there. So Kansas City continues to lead New York 5-2 in the 8th. So Suzuki in scoring position with a double. Brings up McLemore 0 for 1 on the day. So the tying run, scoring position. 1-1 the count now on McLemore. Count goes to 2-1. And that's going to be hit to first. Giambi will take it himself as Suzuki moves to third. So Bret Boone with the opportunity now. I believe he walked his first time up. No, he sacrificed fly. That was it, I think. Sacrifice fly. Because he does... No, it's not a sacrifice fly because he does not have an RBI. Maybe he did walk. Yeah, I think he did walk. And strike 1 called. So Boone's still looking to extend his 6-game hitting streak. 1-1 the count now. And Tampa Bay has tied up Toronto now 10-10 in the 8th. And that's a little dribble to Tejada. Up with it over to first. And did he beat it out? Oh, he just gets him. But the run comes home, and we're tied at 2. So Boone with an RBI ground out. Ties the game at 2. So it brings up Edgar Martinez. I believe he walked also his first time up. And this one's hit a long way to left. And that is out of there. So Martinez connects with his first homer of the season. And that will put the Mariners back on top 3-2. So Olerud up now. Olerud got the sacrifice fly, I believe, his first time up. And that's fly to center. And Long is there to make the catch to end the inning. But Seattle scores 2 and takes the lead 3-2. So the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks are tied at 1 in the 8th. What do you think, Mr. Brody? Think Seattle's going to pull this one out? Give Oakland their first loss of the season? I think so. Hopefully. So top of the order for Oakland, also in the bottom of the third. Damon 0 for 1 on the day. And that'll drop in there, so he'll get his first hit of the day. And Damon is a threat to steal. At 27 steals, still looking for his first of the season. So throw over to first. And he's back safely. So Ortiz up now. Oakland could be going with the hit and run now. And strike one called. Throw over to first. He's back safely. And count evens at 1. It's popped up behind the plate. Wilson gives chase. That's back out of play. So 1-2 the count now. And the Yankees have pulled ahead of Kansas City 6-5 in the ninth. So 1-2 the count on Ortiz. Count evens at 2. Little dribble. This could be 2 over to second for 1. Back to first. And a 6-4-3 double play. Turned by the Mariners. So Texas leads Anaheim 3-2 in this third. Jason Giambi up now, homered his first time up. His 4th homer of the season. So with 2 down and the bases empty. It's right where you want to face Giambi when the bases are empty. And this one's hit a long way, but... And that one will get out of here. So Jason Giambi with his second bomb of the day ties the game again at 3. So Giambi teeing off against Halama. Thankfully the bases were empty, but we have a new ball game as the score is tied at 3. So it brings up Olmedo signs with 2 down. And that'll fall in there. So Oakland gets his 6th hit of the day. So Tejada up now, 1 for 1. Signs being held on. Not much of a threat to steal, though. So that's ball 1. And it's fouled down the third base line. So 1-1 the count now. And that's going to be a wild pitch, and Signs will move into scoring position. So the go-ahead run now in scoring position with 2 down. 3-1 count on Tejada, and San Francisco all over San Diego, 7-0 in the third. Full count now. And he'll draw a walk. So Tejada on with a walk, puts runners at first and second with 2 down. So Pyatt with an opportunity to put the Athletics on top. And that's going to be ball 1. Outside corner for strike 1. 1-1 the count now on Pyatt. 1-2 the count now. And that's going to drop in there. That's going to score the run. As Tejada moves to third and Signs scores to put Oakland on top 4-3. So a lot of back and forth so far early in the game. So runners at the corners now for Long as Wilson goes out the top to Halama. Goes back behind the plate. Looks in for the sign. Looks at the runners. Here's the lineup in the pitch. Dribble to Boone. Over to first, and that'll end the inning. But Oakland answers Seattle's 2 with 2 of their own. And pulls ahead 4-3 after 3. So the Indians lead the White Sox 9-2 in the 8th. So Mike Karen will lead it off for Seattle here in the 4th. 0 for 1 today. Pops this one in the 3rd. Long has a beat on it and makes the catch. So it'll bring up Javier. Javier 0 for 1. And that's a rope to right. Falls in there. So Javier with... Oops. Somewhat of a threat to steal. I think we're going to try to have him steal here. He's off with the pitch, and that's going to go into the outfield. And it gets away from Ortiz, or the errant throw by Hernandez. A charging error to Hernandez as Javier will advance to third with 1 down. Detroit 11, Minnesota 2 in the 9th. So that brings up Guillen with a chance to tie the game. Guillen does not have an official at bat. And it's going to be ball 1, 2 and 1, and ball 2, 2 and 1 the count now again. And let's hit the center shallow though. And a great diving catch by Terrence Long there, web gem there. And he had to dive for it, so we're going to send Javier home with 73% chance. Throw comes in, and he's going to be gunned down. So Terrence Long makes a great diving catch, gets back up, and guns down Javier trying to score. Wow. What a play by Long. As he turns the double play. And definitely an unconventional one at that. So we're headed to the bottom of the 4th with Oakland on top 4-3. Chavez to lead it off. Shot dribble it at Boone. Up with it over to Olerud for out number 1. So Los Angeles leads Arizona 2-1 in the 9th. So Hernandez up now. 0 for 1 today. This is a dribble it again. Long throw. But gets him for out number 2. Top of the order, Damon up now 1 for 2. And he'll get his second hit of the day as the throw comes in to Boone. So Damon on. Ortiz up to the plate now, 0 for 2. Damon gets a short lead. Halama makes it even shorter now. And it's going to be ball 1 low. And that's going to be another base hit. Damon moves to third. He was running with the pitch. So the Kansas City has tied. They're in extra innings now. Kansas City and the Yankees 6-6 in the 11th. So Jason Giambi, he's been up twice and he's homered twice. There is action in the... Well, there is no action yet in the Seattle Mariner bullpen. But Wilson reminds him to be careful with Giambi. As there are ducks on the pond, goes to visit him. It's back behind the plate. And it's going to be a strike. Swing and a miss. He was definitely going for the downs on that one. Big cut there. And 1-1 the count now. And that's going to be a base hit. So Giambi gets his third RBI of the day. And Oakland on top now 5-3. So Giambi definitely has Seattle's number so far this year. So signs up now 1 for 2. Ball 1. 2-0 the count. Count goes to 3-0. And he'll walk him in 4 pitches. So just like that, Seattle's bullpen. We get somebody up and throwing here. I think we're going to get... Let's see. What do we have coming up here? Looks like we got Tejada. Righty, righty, lefty, lefty. We're going to get Norm Charlton warming up. So Norm Charlton starts warming up in the bullpen. Tejada 1 for 1. With runners at second and third with 2 down. Ball 1 in the... And that's a fly ball to right. Suzuki has it. Oh no! It's going to be off the wall. No. And 2 runs will come in. And Tejada with an RBI double. So we have a final. Detroit beat Minnesota 14-3. So I think that's going to be it for Halama as the wheels come off here in the 4th. Let's go. Piniella goes and visits at the mound. And he's going to call for Charlton.
Pitching for Seattle, Norm Charlton.
So Norm Charlton comes into the game. He's got no record with a 5.40 earned run average, 1 2/3 innings pitched, 2 hits allowed, 1 homer allowed, no walks and 3 strikeouts. Whip of 1.20, and opponents are hitting 286 off of him. So Pyatt up to the plate now, 1 for 2 today. And that's a dribble to Guillen over to first, and that'll do it. But Oakland puts up a 4 spot and now leads it, has a commanding 8-3 lead after 4. So Oakland looking to go 7-0 on this season. Oakland did win 102 games in the regular season. Off to a great start, unlike Seattle, who won 116 games on the season. So Dan Wilson will lead it off against Heredia. Heredia now with a 5-run lead. Strikes him out. So Heredia with his first K of the day. Suzuki having a good day so far. Got his average close to 500, up to 481 now, 2 for 2 on the day. And Ortiz gets it behind the bag, throws over to first to get Suzuki by a step. So McLemore 0 for 2 up to the plate now. Nice play by the shortstop Tejada to retire the side. So we'll hit halfway through. Seattle trails by 5. So Long to lead it off, 1 for 2. And that'll drop in there. So it said he looks strong, so I'm going to get somebody up and throwing because that usually means that he's not strong. Let's see here. I think we're going to get Jeff Nelson warming up. So Chavez up now, 0 for 1 officially. Pops it up behind the bag. Wilson gives chase behind the plate, but that'll go out of play. So 0-1 the count. San Francisco still leads San Diego 7-0 now in the 5th. And it's going to be quickly in the hole with Chavez 0-2. And he strikes him out on 3 pitches. So Texas ahead of Anaheim 7-6 in the 4th. So that brings up Hernandez. We'll throw over to first. And he's back safely. Throw over one more time. Wow, he keeps getting a bigger lead, it looks like. Oh, and he finally gets him on the third time's a charm. Looks like he got a little too big of a lead there, and Charlton picks him off for out number 2. San Francisco's up the lead on San Diego now 8-0. So 2 down now for Hernandez. It's going to be ball 1. 2-0 the count. And it's fouled down the third base line. 2-1 now. A little dribbler. And that's a weird play as the second baseman gets it and Charlton covers first. Looks like Olerud was too far off the bag because Olerud did try for it but was unable to get to it. It's a good thing Charlton covered on that one. Hey, Miss Mags. Miss Mags is coming here to say hi to all our fans. You a good girl? Yeah, you're a good girl. Alrighty, so we head to the 6th with Seattle needing down by 5. Bret Boone to lead it off. Flies to center. Long barely has to move to make that catch. Texas now adds to the lead, 8-6 over Anaheim in the 5th. So Edgar Martinez up now, 1 for 1. Hit a solo home run. And I believe he walked once so far today. And this one's hit to left. Damon's there to make the catch for out number 2. So Olerud 2 outs and the base is empty. 0 for 1 officially. Gives this one a ride to right. But Pyatt is there to make the catch to retire the side. So Seattle goes in order in the 6th. So Johnny Damon will lead it off top of the order, 2 for 3. This is probably going to be Charlton's last batter. As nice stop by Boone. Throws over to first to get Damon. So that is going to be it for Ortiz. I mean for Charlton. As Jeff Nelson will come in to face Ortiz.
Pitching for Seattle, Jeff Nelson.
So Jeff Nelson's struggling so far in the season. No decisions, but with a 9.82 earned run average. 3 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed. 6 walks already. Wow. 2 strikeouts. So he's had control issues so far. Whip of 2.45. And opponents are hitting 214 against him. So walks have definitely been his issue so far. So Ortiz 1 for 3 on the day. Hits one back to Nelson, who throws over to first. And Anaheim has pulled ahead of Texas now 9-8 in the 5th. So Jason Giambi having a great day, 3 for 3 on the day. 2 home runs. And it looks like they're going to finally retire him. AC flies out to Cameron to end the inning. So after 6, it remains Oakland 8 and Seattle 3. Heredia 84 pitches still out there to start the 7th. Mike Cameron steps to the plate, 0 for 2. And he'll fly out to his counterpart. Deep center, that one carried on long, but he stayed with it and made the catch for out number 1. So Stan Javier comes to the plate now, 1 for 2. Dribble to Tejada, up with it, and he beats it out. So Javier legs himself out a single. Good hustle there. So Carlos Scan 0 for 2. Low and outside for ball 1. 2-0 the count now. And this is the dribbler, and they're going to try for 2, and they just get the 1 at second. No return throw. So Carlos Scianon with the fielder's choice. Now in the 14th inning, the Yankees and the Royals are tied at 6. So they'll bring up Dan Wilson, looking for his first hit of the day. Hernandez goes out to talk to Heredia, goes back behind the plate, delivers. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Quickly in the hole, 0-2. And that'll be a base hit. That drops in there in front of Pyatt. As Guillen motors to third, so they put runners at the corners for Suzuki, 2 for 3. And high and outside for ball 1. And swing and a miss. 1-1 the count now on Suzuki. And they're going to go the short way over to second to end the inning. So Seattle cannot get any closer in the top of the 7th. 7th inning stretch time here in Oakland. And Oakland with an 8-3 lead over Seattle. So there's Jeff Nelson out there for his 2nd inning of work. A little dribble to short. Again up with it over to Old Root for out number 1. San Francisco all over San Diego now, 13-2 in the 6th. It brings up Tejada. He's 2 for 2 with 3 runs batted in. And what happened there? The strikeout. Tejada argues. So he was debating. That was kind of interesting animation there. Didn't like that call. But goes back to the dugout before he gets tossed. So to bring up Dan Pyatt now, 1 for 3. 2 outs and the base is empty. And Jeremy Giambi, brother of Jason Giambi, will come in and pinch hit. So Giambi comes in hitting .267 with 2 homers and 7 runs batted in. Strikes him out. So we got to get something going for us. Let's see. So we got a couple of lefties coming up. So we're going to have warm up Arthur Rhodes for the 8th. So Macklemore 0 for 3 will lead it off against Isringhausen. Isringhausen comes in with no record, with 4.50 earned run average, 1 save on the season. 4 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed, 1 homer, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, whip of 1.5, and opponents are hitting 200 against them. So a little dribbler to Ortiz over to first, and Macklemore is retired. So 1 gone in the Seattle 8th. Brings up Boone 0 for 2. Strikes out. Called 3rd strike. So brings up Martinez 1 for 2. And he'll be on with a 2-out walk. John Olerud up now 0 for 2. And he will fly out to long to end the inning. So time running out for the Mariners as they're down by 5 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. That is going to be it for Nelson. Going to bring in Arthur Rhodes.
Pitching for Seattle, Arthur Rhodes.
So Terrence Long comes to the plate, 2 for 3. So Arthur Rhodes, 4.50 earned run average, 4 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, 2 home runs allowed, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, 1.5 whip, 1.50 whip, and opponents are hitting 294 against them. So all in all, Seattle pitching has not been good so far this season. That and the lack of getting a clutch hit when they need it. So Hernandez 0 for 3 will come up against Rhodes here. A little dribble to Guillen over to first. So 2 down now in the Seattle, 3 down now as we head to the 9th. So Isringhausen back on the hill. We'll face Cameron, Javier, and Guillen. Cameron 0 for 3 on the day. Strike 1, swing and a miss. 1-1. 1-2 now on Cameron. Strikes him out. So Isringhausen gets his 2nd K of the day. We'll bring up Javier, 2 for 3 on the day. Pops one up behind the plate. That'll go back out of play for out number 1. For strike number 1. 1-1 now. 2-1 on Javier. Little dribble to Tiata deep in the hole. Guns him down. So the Mariners down to their last out. And we're going to take out Guillen for a pinch hitter. Oh, let's see here. I think we're going to bring in Charles Gibson's hitting .310 against the righties. I think we're going to bring in Charles Gibson.
Pinch hitting for Seattle, Charles Gibson.
So Gibson, with his first at bat of the season, hit .219 on the actual season. 5 runs batted in. Again, he did hit .310 against righties, so that's why he's in there. And that's a dribbler. Foul down the first base line as Giambi gives chase. And Jeremy Giambi is the new right fielder, so it's an all Giambi right side of the field there with Jason at first and Jeremy behind him in the outfield. So the count 0-1 on Gibson. 1-1 now. 1-2 now, so Seattle down to their last strike now. Little dribbler taken by Ortiz behind the bag over to first, and that'll do it. As the Oakland Athletics go to 7-0 and remain undefeated on the season. As Seattle continues their struggles to start off the 2001 season.
Final score from Network Associates Coliseum, Oakland 8, Seattle 3. Oakland is on a 7-game winning streak. Gil Heredia is the winner. He is now 1-0. John Halama is the loser. He is now 0-2. Edgar Martinez hit home run number 1 on the season. Jason Giambi hit 2. He now has 5 on the season. Time of the game, 2 hours, 52 minutes.
Alright, let's check out the pitching first, as we usually do. So Gil Heredia Pitches 7 strong innings, 6 hits allowed, 3 runs, all of them earned. 1 home run allowed to Edgar Martinez. 2 walks and a strikeout. Jason Isringhausen comes in and pitches the last 2 innings, allowing no hits, or 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. Does not qualify for the save as they had more than a 3-run lead and he only pitched 2 innings. So John Halama goes to 0-2. His struggles continue. Last just 3 2/3 innings with 11 hits, 8 runs, all of them earned, 2 home runs, 2 walks and a strikeout. Norm Troutman pitched an inning in 2/3, allowing 1 hit, strikeout. Jeff Nelson 1 2/3, 2 strikeouts. So the bullpen for Seattle was much better today than it has been. And Arthur Rhodes, 1 inning pitched, no hits, 1 strikeout. So that is your pitching summary. For Oakland, Johnny Damon 2 for 4 with an RBI. Ortiz 1 for 4 with a run scored. Jason Giambi, player of the game, 3 for 4, 3 runs scored, 3 RBIs, 2 solo home runs. Rudy Cianez, 1 for 3 with, Almeida Signs, 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Also walked once. Miguel Tejada also had a fine day, 2 for 3 with a run scored and 3 runs batted in. Walked once also. Pyatt was 1 for 3 with an RBI. Jeremy Giambi 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter. Terrence Long 2 for 4. Jeremy Giambi also went into play right field. Eric Chavez hitless on the day, 0 for 3, but didn't have an RBI. And Hernandez 0 for 4. For the Mariners, Ichiro Suzuki was 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Average up to 448 now. Mark McLemore was hitless on the day, 0 for 4. Bret Boone 0 for 3 with an RBI and a walk. Edgar Martinez was 1 for 2 with a solo homer, also walked twice. Olrud 0 for 3 with an RBI. Mike Cameron 0 for 4. Stan Javier 2 for 4. Carlos Guillen 0 for 3. Gibson came out as a pinch hitter 0 for 1. And Dan Wilson 0 for 3. 1 for 3. So Jeremy Giambi definitely player of the game. Let's check and see the miscellaneous here. Let's see what they give it to. Yeah, MVP Jason Giambi. Let's see here. So Suzuki also got his 6th stolen base of the season. Suzuki had a double, 2nd on the season. Terrence Long with a great play. There was a web gem here by Terrence Long. It says great. Oh, it must be great right there. That's a web gem. He also had it ended up being a double play. So Mr. Brody's had enough of this game. Not a lot of runners left on base. Seattle 5 and Oakland 4. Each team turned a double play. Look at the score sheets here. Score sheet for Seattle right there. And the score sheet for Oakland right there. Here's the recap. And that is going to be it. So let's cut out of here. Oops. Come on. Forgot we had this over here. Else I would not have done that. Alright. So let's take a look at our... Whoops. Hopefully they're there somewhere. So, with the loss, Seattle's now 2-5, tied with the Anaheim for last place. Oakland commanding 7-0 record. Red Sox are also 6-1. San Francisco and National League, San Francisco 6-1. San Diego struggles, 0-7 continue. And those are your leaders there. So, game 2 will be up next between Seattle and Oakland. Seattle still looking to hand Oakland their first loss of the season. So let's see what they can do here. As Ichiro Suzuki's got a great start to the season so far. Leads the league with 6 stolen bases. 8th in the league in batting with 448. Still early on. So, all right, so thank you for joining me. It's been Eric from High Ground Gaming, my co-hosts, Mr. Brody and Miss Mags. And we'll see you in the next Ichiro Suzuki career replay using Action PC Baseball. So take care and God bless. Bye-bye now.